That computer chip has the potential to change everything.
Tell us, how did you create a low-budget film to look like a billionaire film?
Well, thank you. That's a big compliment. I really just tried to look at it from the point of view of the audience. Like, how much does the audience need to see to feel like this is a big world? And it's kind of like a little bit of a magician's trick. Like, I just show you a little bit. So there's only really a couple of shots in the film where you see this huge city, but all you need is those two shots for the audience to believe that they're in this big world.
And I heard that Terminator and RoboCop had a lot of influence in you to create this movie. How?
Well, first of all, they're just great movies, so I love them. I think they're great sci-fi movies. But mostly they influenced me in terms of what can be achieved without a huge budget. You know, those were movies that were done all practically. They weren't using CGI.
As a reporter, your very first interview was with Jackie Chan.
Oh, yeah.
Did he somehow influence you to make the fighting scenes for this movie?
Well, Jackie Chan has to have an influence on any fight scene because he's such a legendary figure in the world of martial arts movies. Actually, when I was interviewing Jackie Chan for the first time, I asked him to kick me like above my shoulder.
Really?
Yeah, it was my first interview. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea how to interview somebody, and I said, "Can you kick me on my shoulder?" It was good times.
And did he do that?
He did.
Oh,
he did.
wow.
He put his foot up. It's pretty great.
And how was the training for Logan's movement? Did you use some type of technology?
Well, the only technology part of it was during the fight scenes, we would often strap a phone to Logan and the camera would move with him. So it would give it this, but everything else was just Logan. He trained for months before the film on his own time. He would email me videos of himself in his backyard kind of moving, and I would say, less of a robot dance, just be fluid. And so we would just have this conversation, and you know, he was amazing. He was exactly what I needed for the role in terms of committing to the physical part of it.
You just keep showing up in these unsavory places.
You have been named top 10 directors in Variety, but you're also a producer, an actor, a screenwriter. What do you enjoy the most?
I'm going to go with directing. Directing's great because if you're a control freak in any way, directing is the best because you get to literally dictate everything. Like if this was a scene in a movie, I get to decide on your jacket, the buttons, the bracelet, this painting. But what I do like is making all the little creative decisions, because when you write the script, if you're just the writer, you hand it off to someone else and they make all the decisions.
What do you think is safer, that a computer drives a car or a human?
I'm going to say human beings for now, because there's been a couple of deaths with automated cars. I think that there's a few kinks they have to work out. I think that computers will be better drivers eventually.
At some part of your career, you had anxiety attacks and you ended up in the hospital. If this experience changed the way you work now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that was when I was younger, and it really informed the writing of Saw. And it's actually something that, as I've gotten older, I think I've relaxed a lot more. It's weird. Usually when people are younger, they're way more relaxed. I feel like having a family, in a way, it helps you relax in the sense that you're living for someone else. You know, it's tiring and exhausting, but I think you stop worrying so much about yourself and your own issues, and you start worrying about other people.
And in the past, you have worked in very horrifying films such as Saw and Insidious. What made you change to work in a sci-fi movie?
I think that I just want to try different genres of film. I think I would get bored if I kept making horror films, so it's great to make a sci-fi film. I have a kids movie that I wrote. Yeah, years ago I wrote
A horror kid movie?
No, not even a horror kids movie, just a kids movie. Okay. And I would love to make that film.
The ending of this story was magnificent and very unexpected. Can you tell us a little bit about how was the brainstorming process for the ending?
The first draft of the production draft of the script had a different ending. And then about 2 weeks before we started shooting, I had this other idea. And all of a sudden I said, okay, we've got to change the ending. So everybody panicked.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you know, it's going to be worth it. And I'm glad that I pushed for it, because ultimately nobody remembers the problems at the premiere of the movie.
Yeah.
Nobody's on the red carpet saying, oh, you really killed us that day at the end. Everybody has movie amnesia. All they remember is the finished product. Yeah. So I would say to aspiring filmmakers watching that, just do the best thing for the movie, no matter how hard it seems, because later you'll be thankful.